Chris Johnston believes that if a member of the core four is moved, that person will be Mitch Marner. Do you agree?
I do. It feels like he's the guy that could garner the most in return when you would try and shop him around the league. And, look at what you're getting in Mitch Marner. You get a player that's hovering around 98, 99 points a year, a player who's a Selke candidate. And when you're looking at it, what does another team get in Mitch Marner? Well, they're going to get a player that maybe they don't have, a terrific playmaker, someone who can play on the power play, someone who's strong defensively. And on this core, we've seen that there's just too many of the same kind of personalities on this core. And if you think there's going to be a move made, it makes sense that it would be Mitch Marner because he can be the guy who can fetch you a return that would change the complexion of the team, change the dynamic of it. Austin Matthews is not going anywhere. William Nylander, it seems like he does pretty well with the pressure in this market, and he's a little more used to dealing with that. Like, he does well with it. So Mitch Marner makes sense as the guy that would be out the door, and you have to look at it from another team's point of view. They might have something that the Leafs need, that the Leafs don't have. And another team might be thinking it's a priority to get Mitch Marner here because maybe they're one Mitch Marner away, where the Leafs need a different element on their team.
You know that John Tavares won't be traded because he won't waive his no move. And aside from that, I don't think his contract is really tradable. Having said that, are we about to see the Leafs captain maybe take a different role with this team next season?
Absolutely. This would be the priority. Make sure John Tavares is not your second-line center next season. And when this contract was signed with Tavares, they would have hoped that at this point there would have been some team success by now. They would have won some playoff rounds. They would have been knocking on the door to a championship. It hasn't been the case, and now this is the day that was going to come. At some point, you were going to have to do something with John Tavares internally and pivot him into a different kind of role, and now we're here. John Tavares cannot be the second-line center on this team if they want to be successful next season. He can't. When you see it in the playoffs, that when the game gets really fast and you play a team like the Florida Panthers where it seems like they have so much speed and the ice shrinks up on you, he's not able to create that separation down the middle of the ice. He needs to be on the wing next year. And it's not even a situation where you can put him on the third line either, because the third line center needs to be able to play with a little bit of pace, have a little bit of energy. This is not a shot at John Tavares' production. He's always going to be a great power play player. Yep. He's always going to put up points given the opportunities. But to play second line and drive play at 5-on-5, they absolutely need to make some kind of upgrade there. Someone with some boots who can drive play at 5-on-5.
And then you get to the goaltending situation, which became very convoluted during the postseason, Frankie. Matt Murray was healthy during the playoffs, but when Ilya Samsonov got hurt, they went straight to Joseph Woll. So you got Matt Murray on the books next season. What are you going to do in net next season?
It's very intriguing as to what you do with Matt Murray. And listen, the reason why Matt Murray didn't play in the playoffs is because he hadn't played up until that point. You're not going to put him in after having such a long hiatus of not playing. Joseph Woll was the hot goaltender. And I understand that Matt Murray won 2 Stanley Cups and has been down that road before, but you couldn't trust him given that situation, given the fact that he had been so injured. So what do you do now? Ideally, you would like to bring Ilya Samsonov back. He earned the starting job this year, and Joseph Woll looks to be the goaltender of the future. The issue with this is Matt Murray is owed $8 million in real money on his deal next year. There's not many teams lining up to do the Leafs a favor and take that money off the books. So with that being said, it makes a difficult situation because you start to add up all the things that this team has going for them against them right now. General manager, players that need to be signed, 10 unrestricted free agents, and now you think, what are we going to do in net? Because we have 3 goaltenders, and really we only want 2 of them. It's interesting. Do you package up a draft pick? Well, there's not a lot of draft capital either.
Right.
The to-do list for this team is really going to pile up, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with Matt Murray. But if you're asking me, it's like you can't come back with Matt Murray. It's Samsonov and Woll next season in net.